Okay, so I've made a couple of videos in the past few days about Pineda and where he can go next after beating Ed Matthews. So in a previous video, I talked about how I didn't think the Ed Matthews fight was a bit fair on Ed Matthews, but I've had a couple of people coming out and just kind of saying that they could see why it happened, especially with the character that Ed Matthews was, saying that he can go through and beat everyone. So maybe just humbling him was the thing to do. I'm not sure whether that was the play, but it is what it is. So he's gone and beat Ed Matthews. So what is next for Pineda? So for me, I was thinking that the Pineda versus Alex Wasabi fight would be a good fight. That's what I spoke about in the previous video. I'm not going to touch on it more. If you want to see what I said about that and my thoughts on it, you can go find the channel, the video on my channel. I think I've titled it "The Pineda Problem," where I detailed that I think Pineda versus Alex Wasabi would be the fight to make. Since making that video, I've had a couple people, more than a couple of people. I've had 4 or 5 people, which is which is a lot for me. I've had 4 or 5 people come out and say that there is actually another fighter that they'd want to see Pineda fight, and that's Swarmz. So for me, I've never really considered the Swarmz fight, because as much as Swarmz has been active, he's had a lot of improvement since his initial fight with KSI. I've never really put Swarmz and Pineda in the same conversation, just for the difference in skill levels. So you gotta think, Pineda's been a professional fighter for a little bit. He went and fought KSI, lost, got beat up quite badly, and then for who did he fight next? B-Dave, a couple of those, what are they called, tag team fights, and now Ed Matthews. So he's kind of stepped up the levels and has improved a lot. On the flip side, Swarmz has fought KSI, lost. He then, who does Swarmz fight after this? KSI lost. He's then had a couple other fights, like against Ryan Taylor, which he one-punched. He then fought Deji, who he lost, but he went the distance with. Tag team, and then Ed Matthews, in which he got knocked down and knocked out in the first round because of his ankle. So for me, Swarmz didn't really have the resume to then say, yeah, he's ready to step up against a professional fighter. But I guess the thing is, you got to take into consideration is that as good as Pineda is, in the sense that he's a professional fighter and he's beat Ed Matthews, he's still not a top level professional fighter like a Tommy Fury or anyone like that. So for me, the Swarmz versus Pineda fight is a bit one-sided. It's I don't see a way that Swarmz wins. But having that said, Swarmz has been improving. Pineda isn't the best. If Swarmz comes out and has his best ever performance, and Pineda has a bit of a lackluster performance because he doesn't see Swarmz as a threat, then that could be a fight that Swarmz could win. Now, for me personally, I can't see that happening, but that could be a fight that Swarmz could win. Especially if Swarmz comes out aggressive, attacks the body, kind of wears down Pineda. I think the longer the fight goes, the more it plays into Pineda's strengths. He's got a bit better cardio than most people. He kind of knows how to stretch himself out over multiple rounds, whereas I think Swarmz' cardio is good. He's obviously lost a lot of weight. He's gotten into good shape, but I think Swarmz' way of winning that potential fight is to go in and push hard in the first 2-3 rounds to try and get him out of there. As much as that's an awful technique for a lot of fighters, we all know that Pineda struggles when people put pressure on him. KSI is the biggest example of that. And then when Wasabi was putting pressure on him and pushing him, he was obviously able to knock down Pineda. So for me, I just wanted to make this as like a quick video, just to kind of say that that's what people have been saying, and it'd be interesting to see if anyone else is agreeing with that, if Swarmz versus Pineda is the fight to make, because I guess that they could title it, I don't know how they title it, but it's basically the what they'd be showing with that is who was the better opponent against KSI. Just to touch on another quick note with Pineda that was raised in a comment is someone said the reason that Pineda has been given these fights and kind of being pushed to fight these people and shown to be a lot better is to try and to show the credibility of him being a pro boxer, to show that when KSI beat him, how good that makes KSI. Now, the issue with that is, it's been a couple of years now since he fought Pineda. Pineda's obviously improved, but even if Pineda goes through and beats a bunch of people, you can still go back to that fight and see how much of a different fighter he is and how much smaller he is than KSI. So for me, it is improving his credibility because, Pineda's beat B-Dave and he's beat Ed Matthews, which would go on to say that KSI could beat them, but that was never a conversation that could have. It's only if Pineda goes through and beats someone, a well-known fighter, I don't think this would ever happen, but if Pineda went through and beat Salt Papi, for example, you could then make the argument that, KSI doesn't need to fight Salt Papi because Pineda beat him. I don't know, that's just something that someone raised. Let me know what you think in the comments about the Swarmz versus Pineda fight. And let me know what you think about, whether they're trying to improve the credibility of Pineda. I just want to throw in here quick, thank you to everyone that watches these videos. I've been getting a lot more views than I've ever have, so I really appreciate that. The mental stat is that like 99% of people that watch my videos don't subscribe. So if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, leave a like and leave a comment. It really helps me. It helps the channel. It helps me with my motivation and kind of helps me show that I'm making videos that people like and going in a style that people like. Because I'm trying to not do the whole shouty thing, just trying to do a bit more of a Chael Sonnen vibe type show. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next one.